here we are at the reviewing area, and here we have Transformers Cybertron Megatron on the reviewing area. So, as you can see, Megatron here in this mode is a really nice and sick looking car mode, which has like a Batmobile type vehicle that a lot of people like to call it. Because this does have some resemblance to a Batmobile that Batman would ride in. And like I said, it does look really nice and sick looking all around. And the color scheme on this figure, okay, the color scheme that this figure has on him, some people like it, some people think it's meh, and some people just think it looks kind of awful. I personally am okay with, well, actually, I'm fine with the color scheme on this figure. Even though it does look like a lot of crazy colors, I'm personally still okay with the color scheme. But the repaint of this figure, which is Galvatron, which is exactly the same as this figure, the only difference is that it's in a different color scheme. But the repaint of Galvatron of this figure is in the more Megatron color scheme. Like the black, the silver, and the red. Like the original G1 version has. But this one is in a more crazy color scheme, which I think I'm fine with it. I know some people may not like it, but I'm personally fine with it. But let's take a closer look at the detail work. So as you can see, you got a lot of nice purple and orange with some teal paint here and a nice translucent cockpit here. You can see here. And you do have some like light blue paint on the rims here, on the tires here, and some orange and purple here. And here's the top here, which does look nice. And you do have a nice Decepticon symbol here. And here, which is where you would insert his cyber key here. And here's the back spoiler here. And this figure does come with some missiles that you would insert into these holes. And to fire them, you would push on these things. But I don't have those missiles with me. And here's the front here. And going to the back here. You just have some translucent clear things here on the turbines here. Got some purple here. And some silver and teal paint here. And the bottom, the bottom it is of course like robot mode kibble here, but the bottom is robot mode kibble, but I don't think it's the worst one. As far as I can tell, it's not the worst robot mode kibble on the bottom, for what I can tell. And he does roll really well. And all around, it is pretty cool. A pretty cool vehicle mode for its time it came out, and also in today's time. Now, of course, being a Cybertron or Galaxy Force figure, this figure does come with a cyber key or force chip. And I'm using a different cyber key. He is supposed to come with his own, which is like a Decepticon shaped cyber key, but I don't have that with me. But to insert this into this figure, on the front here, you can see there's this hole here. And once you insert it in here, these two turbine things will pop up like this. Just like that. And it would make some sound effects. And I have put fresh batteries in this figure. And when I tested it out, it still did not work. I don't know if it's because of either damage or age of this figure, but it's one of them, one of those. And while these are popped up, you could see some silver paint on these turbine things. Oh, and when these pop up, these front things do spin. And I think the backs do also spin. I'm gonna check. No, just the fronts. Just the fronts that spin. And he does have a couple more cyber key gimmicks on this figure, but that's gonna be for robot mode. But before we get to robot mode, this figure does have another mode. Yes, this guy is like a triple changer, like Springer and Blitzwing and Sandstorm. This figure is a triple changer. So to get him into his other mode, which is the jet mode that they're calling it, on the front, you're gonna separate this front part here, and then you're going to untab these things from this orange section here. From these tabs to these holes. And to show you here, these are also on sliders. So what you want to do is you want to take these armature things that are connected from here and slide them out so they're like that. Then do the same thing here and slide out like that. Yeah. So once these are untabbed and slide out some, you just now want to take these and bring them all the way out. And they also tab into these tabs and these holes. So bring them out. Now this peg is going to go into that clear hole there, where the back wheels are at. Like that. And these are on swivel joints. So you can position these however you want. And there you have his other mode, which is a jet mode. And I do think the jet mode is also pretty cool looking. It ain't the worst one, but it actually, to me, looks really cool for what it is. Because it's not the worst one I've seen. And does have this purple nose cone here for the jet mode. So yeah, pretty cool jet mode. Okay, so now let's get him into robot mode. So to start off the transformation to robot mode, of course, untab these back out and get them out of the way. Now you're gonna, for the spoiler part, you want to take these purple things and bring them out, and then bring them down on these hinge joints here. And you'll see they also tab into this hole and that peg there. And this peg on these purple things goes into these same clear holes that these white tabs tabbed into. Just like that. Now, for the back tires, you want to untab them from this tab and that hole. Now, coming to the bottom here, you want to take what will become his legs that are connected by this white thing, which will become his waist, and bring it down like this. And then take his legs and bring them down and rotate his knees and straighten them out. And then bring down the waist all the way down. And also, these things are on hinge joints, so you can either have them up or down, however you want. I like to have them down. And now I'm gonna have to scooch the camera up some. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take these and bring them back on these swivel joints and then bring them down so they're like this. And for these things that were slid in, I think you are supposed to I think you're supposed to leave them slide out for robot mode. I think that's how it's supposed to go when you're going into robot mode. Or I think they're supposed to be slid in. But I think they're supposed to be slid out. Which is what I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. Oops. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, for the top here, take these things and flip these up. And then take this purple thing and separate it. There we go. Like that. And then you also want to untap this orange thing from this cockpit here. And the cockpit here does tab into these two orange tabs into those little holes there. And like you already saw, once these are separated and untapped from this white thing, bring them out. And you also want to bring them out on these joints here. Okay. Now, take this white thing, which was the cockpit here, and slide it down. And if this hasn't done so already, take this section and untap it. And you do want to bring it down, but only bring it down here because you need room to take his robot mode head and bring it up. And to show you here, there's his robot mode head. Yeah. Just like that. And you do want to make sure that these tabs go into these holes here. Like that. And then take these and bring these in. And for the arms, you want to bring them down and rotate them so the elbow joint is facing forward. And then take these and bring these down, and they are on sliders here, so you want to slide them down and bring these back, and this tab will go into, not sure if you can see it, but that hole there. And you do want to take these purple things and flip these out. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. And now the last thing to do is, for the robot mode head, you want to take these purple things and rotate them up to make his, like, horn things. Like that. And there you have Megatron from Transformers Cybertron in his robot mode. And he looks really cool. At least for me. I do think he looks really cool in robot mode from its time and in today's time. And like I said, some people have issues with the color schemes. I am personally fine with the color scheme for what it is. And get a closer look at the head sculpt here. Very nice head sculpt here. At least for me. And you have a little more of that teal paint here, along with some white on his face, and also some really nice light piping on him. And to show you, well, try and show y'all all around the head sculpt here. And going down to the chest here, which we've already saw in the vehicle mode. And his arms, you do have a lot of orange with little bits of red and more of that teal paint. And a little more red on his waist. And you have some orange paint on his feet. And I'm gonna show y'all on the sides here. While I try to get him to stand. He is kind of back heavy, but you just have to like position his feet or try to position them as you can. But here's the side view here. I think it's mainly because of these giant things here. It could be that. Yeah, he is kind of really back heavy. Yeah. Or it could be the looseness of his feet. It could be either the backpack or the feet. The hinge joints on the feet is not quite strong enough to help support the weight. But for articulation, the head, the head is on a swivel, but you're not gonna get a lot of rotation because it's hindering by these things here. Yeah. Yeah. So the head does swivel, but you're not going to get a full rotation because it's hindering by those things on the sides of his head. But the arms do rotate all the way around. They do move in and out on a ratchet, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel. He does have a waist swivel. You can see here, but you're not going to get a lot of rotation due to this back piece blocking it. But if you untap the chest and move the waist down, then you get full rotation. Legs can go forward and back on a ratchet. Move in and out on a friction joint, which to me looks kind of weird, because the forward and back is on a ratchet, but when you move them in and out, it's just on for friction, which I would have liked if they were on a ratchet joint, but okay. But you do have a knee swivel and a bend at the knee on a ratchet. And the feet, they do move on a ratchet, but listen to how many clicks you get. Yeah. You only get like one click. And they are kind of really loud clicks. Where it feels like you're about to break it, but you're not. Yeah, that is a loud click. But you do have an ankle pivot. And the ratchets on the feet, where you move them up and down and it only has one click, that to me is a no. Well, actually, yeah, that is like a no for me, because I would have liked to hear a number of clicks instead of just that one click, because I think it might be because of the feet not being strong enough. Because as you can see, when I'm trying to stand him up, he just doesn't want to stand up. I don't understand why, but you could see he just never wants to stand up, because I think it is because of the feet being on that one click. Okay, and he does come with some accessories, but they are, look, but he is equipped with them. And to remove them, we of course need to bring back the cyber key here. Now you can still activate the turbines here in robot mode as well. You can see there, if you want to. And I dropped it. There we go. Okay, so he does have a couple more cyber key slots, which are on here and here. I'm going to go ahead and show it to y'all. Through here, which is much easier. So for this one, when you insert the cyber key, now you have to insert it through here. So when you insert the cyber key into this slot, that this would pop up and these three blades will pop out. And you will have to remove it off. And as you remove it off, these three blades will pop up. And they spring up from this tab that slides forward and back. And to attach this onto him, you have like a number of options. You can either, I think you can, yep, you can have him hold it if you want to, but he does have some ports here that you can attach it to here, but you have to attach it like this. So you have that there. So you can have that look there. And now for the other one here, first I will have to remove the cyber key out. When you insert the cyber key into here, this will pop up. Like that. And this will allow you to take this that's connected by this wheel here and slide it up and remove it off. And to show you, well, try to show you from the bottom here. You can see I've inserted back in, but to remove it, you have to push on this tab, which will pop up this wheel here. And that will allow you to remove this entirely off. And take that out. Close this back up. And bring this back like that. And once this is removed, you now want to take this and bring it forward. And you have a little Gatling gun here. and I'm trying to get the light to position. But you have a little Gatling gun here that you can have him hold in his hand. And this does have a feature, but mine doesn't really work that well. What you would do is you would take this and rotate it around, and as you do that, it would spin this around, because you could see here, oh, I don't know if you could see it, but there is some gears, which those teeth in there should line up. But they don't on mine. But what it would do is, what you would do is you would turn this around, which would spin this. But mine doesn't work. But you can have him hold it in his hand. And there you go. And that is it for Megatron. There is one more feature that he does do, but that's only if you have Nemesis Breaker, a repaint of Leo Breaker. But I'm going to save that for another day, maybe. But this one does have another feature to him, but that's only if you have the Cybertron Nemesis Breaker, the repaint of Leo Breaker. And that would give him what they're calling the Dark Claw mode. But I don't have Nemesis Breaker, so I can't show y'all the other feature that he does. Because for right now, this is all I have for now. So we will be back with our final thoughts here.